Welcome to The Biz Behind Beauty, the podcast that aims to educate and inspire barbershop and salon owners who are new to the game or want to jump in. I'm your host, Kellyanne Riley. Today we're talking to Lucas Renfroe, co-founder of FirstPage Marketing, Salon.Marketing, and Root Southern Salon in Savannah, Georgia. Lucas is a salon marketing expert, and he's here to share how you can supercharge your business through SEO and Google. You probably know by now that I love to share a good success story. Every time I hear one, I can't help but be intrigued and want to know how they got there because, like everyone else, I want to get there too. A couple of years ago, I was poking around on Facebook and up comes a story of how this new salon in Savannah, Georgia was servicing anywhere from 200 to 250 new clients every month, and that they were already trending to do over $1 million in sales. The kicker is that they had only been in business for a couple of years. Of course, my nosy self clicks the post because I just had to know how this was all possible. Lucas shared that he not only used social media, but also optimized his website using SEO and Google to attract all those new clients and grow the salon. In 2018, this was still relatively new and foreign to me, but if it was going to be the secret to my company making $1 million, I was all in. Since then, he's worked with me on my salon company's website to help improve our ranking and get new clients in as well. Now, when I ask new clients how they found us, they say Google and how great our reviews are. When I say Lucas is an SEO master, I am not kidding. He has gone over and above many times and was a total lifesaver after I crashed my own website a couple of times. My salon company now gets well over 200 new guests a month as well, even during a pandemic. So today we're going to be talking about why you need a website, how to optimize it with SEO and Google, and how to use it to supercharge your business's growth. Welcome, Lucas. How are you?
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for having me on. Fantastic.
Thank you for joining us. I just want to get started with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. It sounds like you're talking about a secret sauce that we have here to share with everyone, but it's really simple. I am Lucas Renfroe. I'm a salon owner, like many of you, and I can feel your pain points at a lot of times. So owning a salon and opening a salon brand new with 0 clients was a pretty scary adventure to start. And the one thing that we really wanted to look at when we said, hey, we want to open a salon in Savannah was we wanted to start small. So we're not the type of people to just jump in and take out a $500,000 loan and throw a bunch of money at construction. Our process was we're going to bootstrap this thing. We're going to make it work piece by piece and move in a healthier direction is what we felt instead of going into a lot of debt. Probably for the first year, we didn't have a washer and dryer at the salon. So it's, hey, once we get to this point, then you get these things. But we were taking towels home daily and washing them at home. Labor of love. But the one thing we wanted to look at marketing wise is, hey, why would we do traditional marketing? Where would you go and look for a new salon? Do you open the magazine and you see an ad for a salon and you're like, you know what, that place looks really cool. I need to try that out. Most likely not. I had a digital marketing background before opening a salon. Let me preface by saying that. But most people typically go to Google to find things. It's just the way it works. Even most of us listening today, and I'm guilty of it as well, I've already gone to Google today to try to find something. I look at Google Maps every day to look at traffic patterns. So that's how attached to Google we are. So I knew people are going to this location and we need to show up first. So I really just dissected the first page of Google and said, where can we be? And that was really the recipe to, I don't want to say success because it takes away a lot of operational things from the salon that it really takes to be successful. But to drive new clients in the right direction, that was our recipe. And that's what we started doing. We also knew that, okay, this is how we're going to get traffic to our website. But I don't want to have a crappy website because if people are going to go to it, if people are going to find us on Google and then they're going to go to our website, it better look damn good and it better convert them to a new client. I'm of the opinion that looks don't matter, conversions matter.
Hmm.
But looks have a little bit to do with conversions. You could have a very beautiful website and it not convert at all. You could have a
Yeah.
2% conversion rate. You could get 1,000 visits to your website every month and only get 20 conversions. That's a terrible conversion rate.
Hmm.
Salons should be running at least at 10% conversion rate.
Wow.
And we can dive into that a little later as well. But that was our secret sauce. That was our recipe for quote unquote new client success was, hey, let's look at Google. Let's figure out how we can be here and here. And then let's make sure we have a good website that when people go to it, they can book an appointment or call to book an appointment.
We share pretty much the same opinion on websites in general. Maybe I'm on the other side. I think you need to definitely have a good looking website. It definitely has to convert, but it needs to be both. I feel like it almost has to be 50-50 because that's people's eye into your business from Google without them ever having to walk in the door. And do you want them to see something that you made yourself that doesn't look very good thrown together, or do they want to see, or do you want them to see something that really represents what your company is, right? And I think that people really miss that point.
Right.
Something I've noticed over the last few years is that there's a ton, and I mean a ton of market leading websites or salons out there with websites that look like they were built in 1995. And then on top of that, new owners seem to think that if they slap something together and that just because they have a page with their salon name on it, it's good enough. And let me just say, that's a negative, y'all. It actually hurts my heart to see it because I think they're missing out on so many potential clients because they haven't taken the time to either update or even build a website that truly represents their company in the first place. With all the different social media channels making it easier every day to market your business, do you think a website is still necessary for salon? And why would we even need one?
So absolutely, I think a website is necessary. And yes, while there are tons of market leaders with really crappy websites. And back in the day, that was fine. It
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
What I implore salon owners to do is really look at the new client path. How are they going to find you
Hmm.
and book an appointment with your salon? Are they going to
Hmm.
go to Facebook and search for salons in my area?
Hmm.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
Are they going to go to Instagram and just by scrolling, they're going to see something that you posted and say, you know what, I need to go make an appointment with them because they're really cool? Highly unlikely. It
Yeah.
happens, don't get me wrong. But if you're banking on social media to be your sole driver for new clients, you are already in trouble. And unfortunately, this industry has been pushed in that direction for so long.
Hmm.
Social media, social media, social media. We have a very visual product. The beautiful hair that is put out by these artists is great, and it's we want to make sure that people look at it. But what I implore salon owners to do is look at social media as your lookbook, your portfolio. It's where people go after they go to your website to verify your work. It's typically not where they are going to initially find you. Most of the time, they're going to go to Google and look for hair salons near me or hair salon Auto, hair salon Savannah, whatever it is. They're going to type in those keywords and try to find a salon. And then they're going to start that what I call is the new client path. I think it typically starts at Google. And then what do you do once you search something in Google? You usually see the map results and you see their star rating.
Hmm.
Most people look at that and say, okay, this is if this above a 4 is typically a legit good business that I could see myself visiting, then they'll go
Yep.
further.
Step one.
Let's- Step one, yeah. Step one is your Google business profile. That is Google
Hmm.
Maps. That is Google 3 pack, local pack, snack pack, whatever you call it. It's been so many names in the past. It just changed the name to Google Business Profile from Google My Business like 3 weeks ago. So
Okay.
yeah, your Google business profile is what I like to say is step two Google and then Google business profile and then your website. And then people are going to look at your website and then they're going to, which let me go back to Google business profile. There are options to either book now or call now or get directions right in your Google business profile. So
Yeah.
the user could stop there. They
Yeah.
may never make it another step. They
Yeah.
could stop there. The next visit is typically a website. And then you want to give those same options. Are you going to book now? Are you going to call now? What are you going to do? Or are you going to look at us further and go down the social media rabbit hole to see what we do and the product that we produce? Then it's a decision of, okay, do I contact them on the social media channel? Do I go back through to Google to call them or find their phone number or give them? So that's typically what we see as the new client path. It's not as direct as has been shoved in social media down your throats for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think that social media is huge, and I totally think that is a massive business driver. But I think that people need to know you exist first, right?
Right.
Before they're going to find you on social media. And like you said, I think people will go and search local areas, then go to the website. And if your website is built properly, then there's links there that help. I'm going to say drive home. The social media is that kind of that last step of confirmation that these people know what they're doing. And I like the vibe and I like their work, but they have to go through all the other steps first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these days, if your website is not built for a mobile device,
Mm,
you're in trouble again. Because
yeah.
guess what?
Everybody's on
75
mobile.
to 80% of website traffic is now mobile, especially in the salon industry. We work
Yeah.
with hundreds of salons around the country, and we can see all of the data. Mobile devices are dominating when it
Yeah.
comes to website users. If your website is not set up to operate properly on mobile and to drive conversions through a mobile device, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. That's it. All I ever hear with any of the stuff that I've dabbled in with the internet. It's like always make it responsive, as friendly and as easy as I like to call it clicky, like as less clicks as possible for them to get from your Google to contacting you booked in your chair.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to pull up really quick a site, and I think it's even more than responsiveness. It's
Hmm.
almost creating a landing area for a mobile device. When you say it
Yes.
takes less clicks, this almost
Yeah.
looks like an application when you open
Yeah.
my company's website. You
Yeah.
have 6 main buttons, and then at the bottom, you've got book now, call now, and you
Yeah.
can view our Instagram. I'm already taking you, I'm giving you the path that I want you to
Yes.
take.
Don't have to search for it. It's right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. How can you use your website to house all of your content? Because I really think that people think that you put pictures on social media, stuff goes on TikTok, stuff goes on Instagram, stuff goes on your Facebook, and then you've got a website and it's just static information, which yes, part of it is static information, but I think there is or people don't know that there's more that you can do with it. So what I guess how do you use your website to house all your web content?
Yeah, I think first of all, updating it regularly is very important.
Mm.
I can guarantee you, if you are a salon owner listening to this podcast, that
You
you
need
have
to.
got someone, a team member on your website that no longer works there, or you
Yes.
have a team member working for you that is not on your website yet.
Been
I
there a
can
few times.
almost guarantee that as of this moment, everyone listening is guilty of that. Updating your website frequently is very important. And when you look at dynamic content like your social media posts and things like that, there are ways to integrate that within your website to automate the process. Through all of the websites we develop, we make sure that we have an Instagram widget installed so that when someone goes to the gallery, every time an Instagram post is posted, on the salon's Instagram, it updates on the website so that
Mhm.
your gallery is never stale. It's
Yeah.
never, I came last year and checked it out, and it kind of is what it is. But I
Mhm.
would like to say, even with stale content, most of your consumers, most of your new potential new clients are not going to be coming back to your website to relook at your gallery after they're
Yes.
in your chair. So there's that as well. So that's
Yeah.
why a lot of these older market leader salons have done okay with, hate me for saying it, but crappy websites up until now. But as market contenders start coming in and really building good websites and start doing search engine optimization, they're going to start getting pushed down and they're going to be looking for solutions. I would like to speak to, as a market leading salon, every salon owner, I don't care who you are, you're going to have a walkout one day.
Hmm.
It's going to happen. Your business is going to be shook up. You can either let that define you and say, you know what, too much walked out the door, I can close my business. Or, hey, now we're going to start with a young team and we're going to rebuild.
Yeah.
You'll have two options.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And guess what? If you are not on the forefront of if you're not on your digital game, you're going to really be hurting again,
Yeah.
because that's where, you know, new clients are found. So if the phone is still ringing and you just had a walkout, it hurts a little less
Yeah.
to know that you still have new clients wanting to come into your establishment every single day.
Yeah.
Also, where are you going to get new stylists?
Yeah.
If you're not on your digital game, they don't know you exist. They do the same thing that a new client does. They
Yeah.
go to Google and look, say, hair salon Savannah GA.
Yeah.
What is
Where's the next
there?
place I want to work?
And they wanna know that they know that's the client path as a
Hmm.
potential new client, so they wanna be where the clients are gonna find them. So just know that things like that are gonna happen. There's gonna be business shakeups, and if you're already not here digitally, it's gonna be really tough to rebuild when there is a business shakeup for an existing business. And for a new business, if you can get it up here, you're gonna really start to level the playing field with those market leaders really quickly. We did it Roots. There were salons that were around for 10, 20 years in downtown Savannah, and there were probably 4 or 5 of them, and now there's only 2 left.
Wow.
I'm not saying that we did that, but I'm just saying we were
It
able to
happens.
come into the market and disrupt the market enough
Mm.
to overtake digitally these other salons. Typically, when new clients go look, or anyone goes to Google, when you do, when I do, I search something. What Google gives me, most people psychologically think this is the best. Like, it's the
Yes.
psychology of search. So when you're
Yeah.
searching for something, you think that Google's just going to give you the best. What they're
Yeah.
really giving you is the best optimized for
Yes. Yeah.
keywords that you searched.
Yeah.
So, I'm not trying to get into your brain and tell you to really double think your search patterns, but I'm telling you that as a business owner, there are ways to optimize your website and your listing to show up above your competitors and be the best.
So before we get to the actual optimization and all that kind of stuff, I guess the first thing people need to know, what is the difference between a good website and a bad one?
That's super easy. Bad ones are, just like you said, not responsive. When I pull it up
Hmm.
on a mobile device and I can only see half of the website, that's a bad website, right?
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
scroll this way to see
Yeah.
content. That's
Yeah.
no good. A
Yeah.
website that takes 20 seconds to load, bad website. Speed is key right now when it comes to search ranking factor as well, but it's because of the user experience. Good website comes down to really good user experience. Hey, can I
Hmm.
get on this website? Can I easily find what I need? A bad website has the more button as a menu item, and there's like 30 things to choose from,
Yes.
right?
That doesn't really take you anywhere to get you to do anything too, right?
Exactly. What I implore people to do is, number one, simplify. Try
Hmm.
to make it easy. We- I have a level system in my salon. A lot of salons have level systems with their pricing. It's not necessary to put every single stylist with every single level and
Yeah.
for pricing. You put a
Yeah.
range, make it simple for people to digest. Yes,
Yeah.
you're going to have that 1 in 500 that say, on your website, it said that this is only, $284.
And
I
it's
didn't
the
see the
starting
plus
at.
beside it, or read that you have a level. So, yeah. So yes, there are going to be those people. Don't let those people define you. Don't
Hmm.
let the one squeaky wheel change your processes.
Yeah.
Know what works and continue to move in that direction. But the number one thing is mobile responsibility, or built for a mobile device, because that's where most of your website traffic will come from.
Hmm.
And simplicity. The next thing I would say is booking and action items to make
Yeah.
sure someone can book an appointment or call now at all times. All
Yeah.
of the sites we build have a bar at the bottom that never moves. So
Yeah.
no matter where you're at on the site, you can always call now or book an appointment or go to the Instagram.
Yeah.
That never moves on any
Yeah.
of our sites. And it's super important because what if they get to a point and then they're like, you know what, I want to book an appointment, but now I can't remember where to find their contact information and they don't have a contact page. So what am I supposed to do?
And you gotta scroll
Let me just go back to
backwards and
Google and then I get distracted and then it's, then who knows? So
yeah,
make it easy for someone to be a client in your
yeah.
salon.
That totally reminds me of something that one of my clients told me. He's this older gentleman, love this guy to death, but he's always like, "Don't make it hard for me to spend my money." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
But we don't think about that. When it takes you extra steps to do anything on the web, you're costing yourself money.
exactly.
What do you think, if anything, is missing from most salon websites these days? You've
That's a
seen a
great
lot, I know
question.
this, right?
The conversion
Mm,
items like how like book now,
yeah,
call now, that is just why would you not have that?
it's
Um,
so simple.
yeah. And the number one thing that I think is missing, it's not necessarily like a visual item,
Mhm,
but it's the analytics and tracking
mm,
of the website.
mhm,
Most, so I would probably say 99.99% of salon owners have no clue how many people are visiting their website every month.
mhm,
They don't have a clue what their conversion rate is on their
mm,
website
mhm.
in a given month. They could probably tell you how many new clients they had that month. They
Yeah.
could probably tell you what their RTS was,
I feel
right?
like you're attacking me a little bit because this
No,
sounds
I mean,
exactly
it's the truth. The
Yeah,
saying is, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
yeah,
Guess what? We live in a digital age. We need to focus on website analytics and tracking and conversions and where are all these service dollars really coming from,
yeah,
and how do we attack that? You know,
yeah,
if I know my conversion rate's at 40% and the typical salon is at 3%, I know I'm
you're
doing
doing
really
all right.
good. I can
Yeah,
dump money into
yeah,
digital marketing and
yeah,
say, let's bring more people into my website because I'm
yeah,
converting 4 out of every 10 that come to the site. So that is probably the number one thing that is missing in our industry as a whole
yeah,
is the analytics and tracking that people just have no clue. They just put
yeah,
their website out there and hope it works.
yeah,
How do you know? Unless you do new client surveys that say, hey, how did you hear about us or find us? Which most salons are not doing anyway. So it's
yeah.
like, how do you know?
With you saying like the new client surveys, it's just another thing that you have to remember to do when a
Right?
guest comes in. And if you're using your web and your analytics, if you know those numbers, it's one less thing for you to have to track because you can see who's coming in from there, right? And who's
Exactly
clicking to
right.
book appointments. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on those who think that websites aren't important anymore, especially in this day and age?
I appreciate that. It's easier for me to beat them as a
Yeah.
competitor.
Yeah.
Uh,
Facts.
right? It's just silly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's legitimately silly in our industry to think that websites are not important. That
Mm,
if they're still getting traffic and visited on a daily basis, they're important. Potential new clients
yeah.
are coming. Why would you not want to have that? They're relatively inexpensive
Yeah.
depending on who you use. Now, don't get me wrong, you can go out and spend $20,000 on a website. It is
Yeah.
possible, but there are companies
Yeah.
that have websites for pennies on the dollar compared to
Yeah.
what you would pay for a local agency to build a website. I don't understand why you would not want to have a site.
Yeah.
There has been this flow of, hey, I need a funnel instead of a
Mm,
website. I
yeah.
need my sales funnel.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult for
Yeah.
a salon to have a sales funnel. It really is. I've been to Funnel Hacking Live for many years, and we have sales funnels in our business because it works. It makes sense. I can give a free PDF
Yeah.
and get someone in a funnel. For
Yeah.
salons, it's more difficult because who's going to manage that funnel? Do you have
Well,
a
and the people
marketing
have to
director?
come in.
Yeah. Do you have a marketing director on staff to follow up with
Mhm.
all these people that you get in some sort of funnel? How does that
Yeah.
work? Is that something you're going to put on the front desk now to do? They don't have
No.
enough to do, I'm sure. So
Exactly.
it's one of those things is very difficult. Why not put a website out there that it's not a I'm not saying put a website out that's a brochure, right?
Mhm.
Because a brochure is just, hey, look at this. If you like it, figure out how to get in touch.
Yeah.
I want our websites to be interactive with people. Hey, you
Yeah.
can book now, you can call now, you can see a video tour of the salon. There are ways that you can interact with us on our website, not just, hey, we have a really pretty picture. And if you want to do business with us, figure it out.
Yeah, I think people think that websites just need to be informational. And
Right.
yeah, it's just there. Here's my hours. Here's my address. I'm the
Yeah.
owner.
I like to look at it. I don't know if you've been to trade shows or beauty shows, and think about it this way. You're a consumer walking around a beauty show and somebody has a booth and they have someone standing at that booth handing out brochures to you. Here's a brochure. Take one. Or like
Mhm.
business cards and just handing out to everybody. Do you want to do business with that person? Do you know
It
anything about
doesn't,
it?
yeah,
Like, yeah, it's the same thing. Don't be a non-interactive
yeah,
booth at a trade show.
yeah,
Be someone that you can bring in, be interactive and close a deal right there. So that's what I would like to kind of compare it to something.
yeah,
Most people have been to beauty shows and
yeah,
hopefully they're all coming back this year. We'll see. We just did Premiere Orlando a few months ago in October
cool.
and had a great time and it was a good experience. But who knows this year? So we'll see.
Honestly, half of me is so jealous of all of you Americans being able to go out and do what you want. I see all these maskless photos and everybody's having a good time. And then there's us jumping between shutdowns, not shutdowns, 50% capacity.
Well, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, and it depends on the region that you're in and the state here that you live in to define even the city sometimes
Absolutely.
what the rules and regulations are. But we have
Definitely.
been fortunate enough to be in Georgia, which was like, let's do it. I think we shut down. We shut down in March of what year was that? 2020 at this point.
Yeah, I think so. And
March
were
of
you guys open
2020,
by
and we
like May or
reopened.
something?
We reopened at the beginning of May. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
were shut down for a full 6 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
You were shut down for how long?
Our salon was shut down. So from March to June, and then from December to February the 16th. And then we got to open from February the 16th till April 1st. And then we were shut down from April 1st till July 1st. We opened back July 5th for our Canada Day and whatever to start off on a good even week. And so far, this is the longest stretch that we've had. We haven't been closed again, but it's just like, and
Yeah, so I mean,
it's
that's
kind of
9
shaky right
months
now.
of closure,
Yeah.
that 9
Yeah.
months
Yeah.
that you're, like, no business, and it seems like it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Open, close, open, close, and that's tough.
Absolutely. I was going to say too that with everything that we're talking about, with all the salons that closed in Ottawa or in Ontario, in Canada, because of the pandemic and open, close, whatever, we saw so many people coming into our salon. Like, we didn't have enough people working for us to take on all the new people that were coming in because all those people that were elsewhere were now looking for somewhere else to go. And they see salons near me, or for us as well, barbershops near me, because our place is both. And they see all these amazing reviews that we have. And like I said before, Lucas has worked on our website. So, optimize. And so, yeah, we're seeing a ton of new people. And I think that honestly, if it wasn't for the fact of putting some of this stuff in place, like we probably started working together, what, 2018, 2019, something like that. If we hadn't done all this stuff before, who knows where we would have been during the pandemic. Pandemic's been
Right?
a struggle even still, but I think the fact that people were able to find us and know that we exist because of all the work that had been put into the website and into our presence beforehand, it just made it that much easier for them to come and find us.
Absolutely, I
Yeah,
think that's a key, just so you're gonna have things that happen, walkouts, pandemics,
yeah,
whatever it may be,
yeah.
and if you're already positioned at the top
Hmm.
on the first page, it makes life and recovery so
Yeah,
much easier.
yeah,
It's going to be hard, but
yes,
definitely eases some of that burden of
yeah,
how are we going to find clients? How are we going to
yeah,
find staff? What are we going to do? I would say it's just like insurance, right? When you need it, you can't get it. It's best to go ahead and have it
yeah,
just in case.
yeah,
Even for those salons that are just like on autopilot and they're cruising and they're in a really great position, don't take it for granted.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's Michael Cole. He likes to call it, I guess, the busy bus,
Right.
and stop waiting for the busy bus, right? And I think getting your website set up early and set up well and optimize is you putting the work out there that The people are funneling in. It's kind of somebody referring people to your business for you without having to give out referral cards on a daily basis. It's an extra person for you, making
right?
money while you
And
sleep, right?
yeah, and I would say building your website to your build it for your ideal client,
Yeah.
right? Build it for the client that you want to come into your chair. Show that
Yeah.
hairstyle or that
Yes.
age range or
Yep.
whatever it may be that you
Yep.
want to do and you want to grow your business
Yep.
on your site. Don't do a bait and switch and have a beautiful balayage, but you don't do balayage.
Have
But make sure you are putting out there what you want to come into your
Yeah.
salon.
So now we know why websites are still important and what is needed to build a great one. But you and I both know that this isn't a if we build it, they will come type thing. I think it's the same concept as social media. Just because the site exists doesn't mean that people will magically find it. There are literally millions of websites out there and probably hundreds, if not thousands, of salons in our own area, depending on where you live. So now we've got to help our potential clients by doing the upfront legwork to make sure that we can be found. This is where Google and SEO come in. So, can you share the potential journey? You kind of went over this earlier, but can you share the potential journey that a client would go on when they're looking for a new salon to go to?
Yeah, I mean it's fairly simple. I kind of outlined it when I was talking about when we built roots and where we wanted to be. So what we say is it's a Google search engine results page is what we're
Hmm.
looking at. And hey, here's where I want to be. There are really three categories to a search engine results page. They're the ads at the top,
Hmm.
it's the Google Maps right below that, and then the organic results below that. So my goal as a salon owner was I want to be in the ads,
Hmm.
I want to be in the maps, and I want to be at the top of the organic results page. After you figure out where you want to be, then you have to figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
The ads part, pretty easy to get there.
Yeah.
You
Just
just
give
pay
them the
some
money.
money. Now, I say it's pretty easy, but Google Ads, it is a bidding war with other. I mean, it's an algorithm in itself to
Hmm.
make sure that your ad is optimized properly. So don't
Yeah.
just think you can just throw an ad up there and you're going to be number one every time.
Yeah.
You do have to optimize your ad copy and all the content and the links that you're going to on your site. That is a game to play in itself. But for salons, it's pretty low competition.
Hmm.
So it's a little easier to get top placement on a Google ad. But ads is a fairly easy one to conquer, especially in the salon and spa space. Next is Google Maps or Google, now it's Google Business Profile.
Hmm.
So super important. Probably, I mean, website versus Google Business Profile, you need both,
Hmm.
but I would if I was a new salon owner and I said, "Okay, I have to do one of these today," it would
Hmm.
be building your Google Business Profile and optimizing that fully. That's where that's tip right now, they're showing a top 3. That has
Hmm.
changed over the years. It used to be a top 7, then it went to
Hmm.
5, now it's at 3. I think they're toying with going back to 4, but Google controls that. We can't do
Hmm.
anything about it, but we just have to play the game. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm in that top 3 somehow. And filling out your profile fully is very important. Selecting the correct category, super important. If you're a hair salon, you should select hair salon, not beauty salon, right?
Yes.
Or barber.
Yeah.
There's so many different categories you should select and select if you're a hair salon is your primary category and have your secondary categories listed.
Yeah.
Beauty salon, beautician, whatever they allow you to put in that secondary category, I would include that as well if it fits your offering. Photos. You want to make sure you have plenty of photos on your site, on your Google Business Profile. So go ahead and
Hmm.
load up 40 or 50 photos. That's a good way to start.
Yeah.
Phone number is correct, address is correct. All of the things to fill out your profile and make sure your Google Business Profile is correct. And then you got to start getting reviews
Yeah.
because reviews are a ranking factor when it comes to your Google Maps or Google Business Profile. Start soliciting reviews. I talk to salon owners a lot about reviews, and most of them are hesitant to ask for reviews.
Mm.
They don't see the value in it. per se, it's not an instant investment. It's a
Yeah.
long-term investment, asking
Yeah.
for reviews. But it's always important. One thing that we tell our salon owners to do is most softwares these days have a follow-up email after
Yeah.
your appointment. Very important to send that follow-up email. Thank the person for coming to your salon. And number one, ask if, hey, did we meet your expectations? If we did not, please respond to this email and the owner or manager will contact you to resolve whatever issue you had.
Yeah.
If we did meet your expectations, we would love a Google or Yelp review. Here are the links. Please review us. We love you. So ask for the reviews. That is one you can put on autopilot
Hmm.
today, and you're going to start getting Google and Yelp reviews. Now,
Yeah.
I just mentioned a bad word, Yelp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yelp scares me.
Everyone hates Yelp. Yelp is
Yep.
the devil. They call and they won't hang up. And then they're just like, "Are you sure you don't want more new clients?" Yes, I'm sure. Leave me
Yeah.
alone. They want your money.
Yeah.
The only reason I bring up Yelp is because when you search, go ahead and do it, hair salon, your city,
Hmm.
usually the number two, one or two result is Yelp.
Yeah.
And guess what? A lot of people click on the number one and two results on that
Yeah.
organic search.
Yeah.
So below ads and maps is organic.
Yeah.
And usually Yelp dominates organic.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
They're massive and they have the link juice behind them until Google knocks them down a notch and only wants to deliver local small businesses to people
Yeah.
searching for salons. Google's in control of that. So maybe they'll do that one day.
Yeah.
Let's lobby for that. But until then, we need positive Yelp reviews. I think we've got 400 Yelp reviews and only 100 are shown, and a lot of them are the negative ones. So
Yeah. Of
it
course.
sucks, but it's the game we have to play to be number one or two on Yelp because that's
Yeah.
where you want to be. Because when people click on there, then you need to be number one there. That was
Yeah.
another one of the things that I looked at is okay, Yelp is showing up. Guess what? I have to be number one on there because I know people are going there.
Do they play with each other at all? Do you think if you're number one on Google, that algorithm can kind of help with your ranking on Yelp at all, or
No,
vice
I think it's
versa?
I think it's the opposite. Yeah. I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
Yelp is fully on your reviews and your rating on their
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
Google will look at where you are, or they will see your name recognition in that first page of Yelp
Got
and
you.
give you more juice
Got you.
for Google SEO.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
Generate reviews on your Google business profile. The more reviews you have, the more 5-star, 4-star reviews you have, the better. If you're just starting out and you're like, nobody's leaving me reviews, ask your
Ask.
family. They know you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You got friends.
Yeah.
They know your character. They know who you are. They've
Yeah.
probably been to your salon before. Say,
Yeah.
hey, please leave me a text them. Please leave me a Google review. Here's the link.
Yeah.
Google gives you a link to send to people to get reviews. Use
Yeah.
it. Ask tons of people. Google's different than Yelp. You can go get 100 reviews on Google one day, and they're not just going to disappear because of some crazy algorithm that Yelp has
Yeah.
to think these are fake, right?
Too many came in at one top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Google was like, you know what? Just get as many as you can. Now, I have run into the situation of fake reviews for some of my clients,
Yes.
and maybe this is a different conversation, but one person had a negative experience, went on a Facebook group of people haters and said,
Yes.
hey, go leave this salon a 1-star review. Then the next day, they've got 300 1-star reviews
Yeah.
on Google,
Yeah.
and it drops their rating from a 4.8 to a 2.3. And
That would
that's
break my
not
heart.
good.
Yeah.
It takes, and of course, the reviews keep filtering in over a couple
Hmm.
week period. But there are ways to get rid of all those reviews, and that's what we were able to do. So just know that if you do get bombarded by a bunch of fake reviews, you can get rid of them. There's a process. And I would say the first thing to make sure you do is to do not respond to the
Mm.
fake reviews.
Mm.
A lot of
Okay.
people say respond until people say
Yeah.
do not respond.
Int-
What that does is it creates something in the algorithm with Google where they will not automatically remove the review. Then it
Interesting.
has to go into the manual review and then it could be on there longer.
Yeah.
So if you don't respond and you just start reporting them, they will go away a lot quicker.
Interesting. I don't think
Yeah.
a lot of people know that because I've heard so many stories of people who, like you said, got bombarded with these, 1 stars. And the worst is when the like the person's never even been to the salon, or they've just
Yeah.
picked a salon out of nowhere and decided to do this for whatever random reason. And yeah, owners get stressed out. And then again, if we're talking about trying to make sure that your presence online is top notch and this is what happens to you, man, that's disheartening, right? And really screws with, yeah, with how Google interacts with you. It
It
just
is. I
makes it
mean,
that much harder.
to the point you say owners stress out. One of our clients owners were on vacation in
Mm.
the Caribbean and cut their vacation short. They were only
Mm.
there for a day.
Ah,
And then all these reviews started coming in and bombarding, and then calls started getting made to the salon of
oh,
harassing because they had put it out on this, person hater Facebook group,
wow.
which just, I guess you call them Karens these days. Then all the Karens started calling in and talking bad about the salon, and it just really it hurt their soul, and they left their vacation and came back home.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, it can ruin your day, so to
Yeah,
say, but
yeah,
just know that in
it's
the long
fixable.
run, it's fixable. Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
really, really
reviews,
good to know.
get reviews. Even if you start getting some bad
Yeah,
reviews, one bad review is
yeah,
okay. Everybody is gonna get a
yeah,
bad review. You need to go ahead and tell
yeah.
your staff you're gonna get a one-star review. It's going to happen. You're gonna mess up somebody's hair, and they're gonna give you a one-star review.
I use for salon software and they automatically send out a text after everybody leaves asking for reviews. What would your experience like? And it's kind of a two-part thing. So the first part is just an internal one and it asks you to rate, but then they can
Right.
copy and paste that and put it into Google and do their rating there. So amazing. I was terrified before I started working with Forest because to me, it was just like, why would I want to put myself out there for people to possibly crap on my business because we made this one mistake one time or whatever the case may be? You know, if it's less than stellar, you just don't know what people are going to say. So for the longest time, I did not ask for reviews at all. And I'm going to say I started in 2011. We started with Forest in 2019, and I think we had about 70 Google reviews, 72, 77-ish. We have like over 450 because of this program asking for it all the time. And as I said earlier, there's so many people when they're looking for somebody for a new salon to go to, they're like, "Oh, you guys have great reviews." And like, "Thank you, Lord." Still
Right?
scares me sometimes, but it is what it is. And then you will
Well,
also get those one stars, like you said. But I feel like those one stars make you more human and more relatable because you can't be perfect. The more kind
that's right.
of absolutely perfect 5-star all the time, it almost makes you question, like, oh, did
Well,
they just get all their friends to go there or
yeah,
what?
and so go ahead and let your staff know they're gonna get a one-star review
Yeah.
because it's gonna hurt their soul when they get it. So go ahead and
Yes.
prepare them for it. It is what
Yes.
it is. But if you just have five-star reviews and
Mhm.
they're all excellent, and they're lengthy reviews, and it's just really awesome, that sets an expectation level of
Yes.
way up here.
Yeah, you're never gonna make
So
a
you have
mistake.
got to meet just to meet an expectation of a new
Yes.
client.
Y
Already, our new clients are expecting perfection. And if we don't give them that expectation, then they've received a subpar experience.
yes.
So we need to make sure what we're looking at is, hey, what are the client's expectations and how can we go a little beyond that to get them to feel like a five-star experience? If you meet that expectation, you've met their expectation, right? If you don't ask for the review, what are they supposed to do? You met their expectation. You didn't go above and beyond. They shouldn't just go on Google and leave you a review because you did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah,
What if you didn't? They are
they're
going to
gonna
go,
go.
even if you
Yes,
ask
they
or
are.
not. So
Yes.
that's the thing. Whether you ask or not, the people's expectations that were not met are going to go and leave you
They need to
reviews.
tell somebody.
So if you want good reviews, you need to ask.
Yes.
If you want bad reviews, don't ask because that's all you're going to get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's such a great point. You literally have to ask because people don't even know that you want them or that you
Right.
need them or that they're beneficial to your business. They don't know that you want that feedback from them.
One of the tricks that we did as well is in our salon, we set up a guest Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
and the Wi-Fi password is "We love reviews."
Us too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
password.
We're
So
settled. Yeah.
you're already setting up that client to be like, you know what, they love reviews. I'll go leave them a review.
Yeah.
So
The amount of people who have giggled when we say that that's what it is, they're like, like, just letting you know.
there you go.
So, can you tell us exactly what SEO is and how it helps in terms of building our business?
So SEO is search engine optimization. Google is a search engine that
Hmm.
is used by 95% of the searching population.
Hmm.
Bing and DuckDuckGo, I think, are fighting it out for the other 5%. We tend to only focus on Google because
Yeah.
it is the market dominator. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's 95% of everyone
Google's
is
part of the
using it.
dictionary at this point. If you say you Googled
Right.
something, yes.
I Google something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna search it in a
Yeah.
search engine that most people use Google. Search engine optimization is how can we optimize our content to rank higher on Google?
Hmm.
Okay. Ads is search engine marketing, right? I'm just spending money to have an ad to get ranked on a search engine. And
Hmm.
it tells me this is an ad.
Hmm.
Google Business Profile and Google Organic Search, those need to be optimized to rank higher on those search engines. We talked about Google Business Profile and how to
Hmm.
properly optimize, get more reviews, set your categories, do some really important things to really raise your rankings there to be in that top three. You really want to
Hmm.
land in that top three, whether you're first or third, really, you want to be first, but don't get your feelings hurt if you're third. If you're
Yeah.
showing up in those three, you're
Yeah.
doing a good job.
It's a
People
lot
will
of
dig
competition out
deeper.
there.
Yeah, people will dig deeper once they see that. They're going to look at the how many star ratings each one of those three have. First of
Yes.
all, that's the
Yeah.
first place people go. So if you're dominating in that area, you should be fine. Then you look at organic search results, which are below the map listings. That's kind of the anatomy of a Google search page: ads, maps, organic.
Hmm.
And organic is typically where your website is going to rank. You're going to try to push up your site through on-site optimization and off-site optimization to rank higher. Google has numerous ranking factors that would probably take us a 4-hour class to really talk about.
Changes
You know
every
what
day,
they're
I've heard too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they have algorithm updates a few times a day, and
Hmm.
usually like a major algorithm update once a month. Before it was like once a year they'll do a
Hmm.
major update, but now it's like every month they're
Hmm.
coming out with a major update. So it is tough to keep track of, but
Hmm.
the important thing is basics.
Yeah.
Make sure your website is optimized. Your content on your website is optimized for the most important search terms that people are
Hmm.
searching. So this is probably the most important thing to talk about. What are
Hmm.
people searching?
Yeah. What does
You don't
optimize
know,
even mean? Yeah.
right? You don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Like we have to figure out what are our most popular search terms for our industry
Yeah.
in our location.
Yeah.
So, for example, in Savannah, where I am, hair salon Savannah GA is searched about 2,000 times a month.
Wow.
Okay, so the way I look at that is that's about 2,000 potential clients
Hmm.
that could come into the salon, right?
Yep.
Hair salon or salon Savannah is searched 60 times a month.
Wow. Okay.
So the importance of knowing how many times an exact phrase is searched per month
Hmm.
will give you an idea of what to optimize your content for. So for us, we're going to optimize our content for hair salon Savannah because
Obviously.
it's a bigger pond to fish in, right? Like there are a lot more fish that we can catch versus the 60. The 2000 versus 60, I want to be fishing for the 2000.
Yeah.
So we optimize for that, and that's what we want to rank high for. Then there's some ancillary keywords that we, of course, want to rank for that are not as important, but typically for salons and spas, there's really one or two that are like high value keywords in each location
Hmm.
that we try to focus our efforts to get our rankings higher on.
Yeah.
We track more than that and we give results for our clients on 10 to 20 keywords, but really, that doesn't matter. The
Mm.
one that we're focusing on is the big one, and
Yeah.
that's what is really important because that's what's getting searched the most per month.
Yep.
So knowing your keyword or key phrase that you need to optimize your content for is super important before you try to optimize your website. So that's step one. We use a tool called Keywords Everywhere. I think, yeah, we paid like $5 a year ago and have still not run out of credits.
Wow.
It uses a credit like every time you search something and it tells you how many times this term was searched in the past
Cool.
month. So you can, and then like I say, $5 investment for probably the rest of most salons' lives. That's what it would be. You can figure out what keywords you need to narrow down to optimize for. Google Ads has a tool as well that you can use, but
Mm,
keywords everywhere, super easy to use. It's a Chrome extension if
okay.
you're interested in that. I don't
That's
have any
cool.
affiliation, but it's a useful tool. So once you find out what keyword you want to optimize for, now it's time to optimize for that. I would like to see salons keep it really simple for SEO. If
Mm-hmm.
you are going to try to do it
Mm,
yourself, optimize your page titles, very important. Page titles, your headings, H1, H2, H3, H4. Most people just think that's how you change the font size, is to make it an H1 and it shows up big, right?
yeah.
Yes and no. It actually, an H1 is what Google looks and says, oh, this is what your page is about.
Yeah.
Your H1. If you have H1 as services, what does that tell Google? Nothing.
Yeah.
If you have
Yeah.
H1 as Hair Salon Savannah GA, guess what? Google's like, oh, when somebody searches for that, I need to deliver this page because
Cool.
this is what this page is about. So Google
Interesting.
looks at the titles, the meta description, the headings. If you have things bolded in your content, there are a lot of things to do when you go to optimize your page, and each individual page as well on your website to make sure it's optimized to show up in search. And then that's the on-site. Some of the other on-site ranking factors is technically you want your website to have a SSL, a security certificate,
Mm,
the little
mm-hmm.
lock that you
Yep.
see at the top. I see
Yep.
a lot of websites that don't, and they don't have an SSL, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, why not? So SSLs are important. Speed is super important. You want your website to be fast. If it loads fast, it's a ranking factor for Google. It has a robots.txt file. It has a sitemap. These are some technical things on the back end that you need to make sure your website accomplishes to rank higher as well. But with all the algorithms changing, if you have the basics in place, you are going to be ahead of the game because most salon and spas don't have the basics done.
Yeah.
What Google is trying to deliver now is what are the best sites that I can deliver for user experience when someone's searching for a hair salon Savannah GA. I want to deliver them the best user experience sites first. Are they optimized for mobile? Do they have an SSL? Is the content talking about the search term, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the direction Google's going. No longer do they have meta keywords. That's not a thing. You can
Okay.
use them, but it's nothing. I
Yeah.
remember back in the 90s, we used to do, if you had a white background, you put a bunch of white text at the bottom. It was
Just hide it in
hidden.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like hidden at the bottom, and I scroll over and you could read all these words, and they were just keywords that people were trying to rank for. That doesn't work anymore. There are a bunch of old things that I hear a lot of people teaching
Mm-hmm.
some of the old stuff that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It frustrates me, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
Yeah.
But look, if you really are looking for an SEO education, you're probably going to have to put in about 40 hours of your time to just educate yourself on what's currently going on in the search engine optimization realm. Then, what I typically tell people is it's probably going to take a salon owner or a marketing professional working in a salon at least 5 to 10 hours a month on average to
Mm-hmm.
implement strategies that you learned
Mm-hmm.
and to re-educate yourself on what's changing every single month. So there is a time commitment when it comes to SEO,
Yeah.
especially on site. Off site's a little easier. So off site SEO, your citations, where are you listed across the web,
Mm-hmm.
yellowpages.com or
Yeah.
.ca, whatever, Yelp, all of your citations, wherever your business uh, is listed with an address and a phone number and a website, those Google looks at all of those to see if they are cohesive and you have the
Mm-hmm.
same address, you have the same phone number, you have the same website listed on all of these different platforms, and how much trust can you build with the same data together. That's
Interesting.
citations are one thing and the backlinks are another. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have links coming from other websites to your website? And not just backlinks, are they from legitimate websites?
Yeah.
If you get backlinks from crappy websites, Google will actually punish you and penalize you for that.
Interesting.
It's super important just not to say, oh, I need backlinks. Let me go buy 5,000 backlinks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to help too much. It may actually hurt.
It's like buying
So
followers on Instagram, right?
Exactly right. Same thing. It never really turns out very well.
I guess my next question, you touched on this a smidge, but what's the difference between local SEO, or I'm assuming there's a difference between local SEO and I'm going to say regular SEO, because we're seeing a lot now about even plugins that I've seen on websites, and it's all about local SEO. So, what is the difference between the two?
So there's multiple. When you say SEO, you're just saying search engine optimization, right?
Hmm.
So it's how do I optimize for search?
Yeah.
Next is what is the search term? So the key is, okay, what is my goal of my website?
Hmm.
As a salon owner is to drive new clients, right?
Yeah.
As an e-commerce site is to sell more stuff.
Yeah.
As a blog is to get more traffic.
Yeah.
So there are different goals for different industries and what you really want to get out of your website. Local SEO, for example, if you search for a blog topic, how to do blah blah blah, you're not going to get a Google business profile and a Google Maps
Yes.
listing of 3 different businesses.
Yeah.
So that's part of local SEO. It's
Cool.
okay, when I search a local term, what is shown and how do I optimize for that? When I search for the newest sneakers out, I'm going to get like Google shopping ads, and I'm going to get,
Hmm.
so your search results page is modified based on your keyword that you're searching for.
Gotcha.
So doing local SEO is really just looking at those local search terms and figuring out what you need to do to rank your website for those local terms. It's all very similar. The bones of it are the
Hmm.
same.
Hmm.
It's just the search terms that are different, really. Even on a blog, I want to make sure that my title and my meta description and my H1 are all set up, optimized for a certain key phrase.
Hmm.
Same thing with your local website. You want to make
Hmm.
sure your title, your meta description, your H1 is set up for your top key phrase in your
Hmm.
market. Same thing for e-commerce. So the bones of on-site SEO are very similar. The big difference with local is that map pack, that three
Gotcha.
pack of your listings on your maps, your Google business profile, and that just gives you more opportunity to be shown on the first page of Google.
To the people who are local to you, right?
Right.
Yeah. Cool. So now that our SEO is in place, how do we know that it's all working?
Tracking and analytics. This is where most people fall short.
Yeah.
Most people, most salon owners won't get past the website portion. They'll start
Hmm.
building their website in Squarespace or Wix,
Hmm.
and then they'll get, I don't know, 2 hours deep, and they're like, you know what?
I'm
Let's just put
tired.
it out. It's good enough. Yeah. And that's it.
There's a
That's as
couple
far as they'll
pictures.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll update a picture once a month or two, but most likely that's as far as most salon owners get. We're talking 20, 30,000 salons or more in the US. There are some of us that are watching this, podcast and that are actually trying to improve our businesses that are
Yeah.
on a different playing field. We're in the
Yeah.
top 20 versus
Yeah.
the bottom 80, but
Yes.
most people, that's as far as they get.
Yeah.
So for the ones that want to go farther, then we can really start looking at analytics.
Mhm.
And if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business, especially if you're paying someone to do
Yeah.
it for you,
Yeah.
or if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
How do you know what you did worked or didn't work?
Yeah.
That is super, super important to know. Okay, I put my 40 hours in to learn it as a salon owner, right? Let's just say
Hmm.
salon owner out there, you're saying I put 40 hours in to learn it. I'm putting 10 hours a month in to execute it. How do I know it's working?
Yeah.
So you have to have some analytics put in place to know if your efforts or if your marketing company's efforts are actually paying off.
Hmm.
Now, ideally, you'll see that through your revenue and your new
Yeah.
client numbers,
Yeah.
but don't just assume that's what it is.
Yeah.
You could have hired 6 new stylists
Yeah.
that had clientels and that boosted your revenues. It's good to have specific numbers that will correlate with your marketing efforts. Number one is website visitors. How many
Yeah.
people are visiting your website every month? So there are a couple of platforms that you really want to focus on when you're looking at analytics. Number one is Google Analytics.
Yeah.
That
That's
gives
the
you
big
your
one.
website data.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where you're going to look at how many people have visited your websites. You're going to set up your goals for conversions
Mhm.
so you will know what your conversion rate is. Setting up goals is another class, so that's another conversation. It's not something that's easy to do, and that's why it
Yeah.
never gets done. It's
Yes.
because it's not click and it's done. So it's a little more difficult than just, hey, set up this for me and it's done.
Yeah.
So setting up goals and conversions is number two in Google Analytics that you really want to do, and know your conversion rate. The second platform is Google Search Console.
Okay.
So what Google Search Console shows you is where your website is showing up for how many search keywords. So it will tell you how many impressions you've gotten in search this month and how many people have clicked from Google to go to your website this month
Interesting.
and what phrases they clicked to go to your website. So then you'll really know where you're ranking for what key terms. And ideally, when someone is executing an SEO strategy, then you will have, an increase in impressions.
Yeah.
So if you only had like 10,000 impressions this month, maybe you have 30,000 in 6 months, and you continue to go up and up in impressions and clicks from Google. And then the third place to look at analytics is your Google Business Profile Insights
Hmm.
to know how many calls did you get from Google this month. And right now they have a feature that you can turn on and it'll tell you how many missed calls you had. So it'll say you missed 6 calls and here are the phone numbers that you missed. So Google Business Profile Insights are very, very important. Calls, directions, website views. It will give you a lot of insight to know. And honestly, you can almost correlate. This has been true with a lot of salons that we've seen. It's not necessarily the actual way that it happens, but I can almost correlate how many Google Business Profile calls you're getting with how many new clients you're seeing a month. There's a pretty good correlation with that if you have a good digital presence.
Okay, so something that you kind of touched upon is that, putting all this together, getting all your SEO set up, it's not like it's going to happen right away. Like you're not going to see results 100% right away. How long does it normally take? When should somebody, start expecting to see something?
That's a very good question. So with Google Ads, it's immediate, right? If you have a good
Hmm.
website and you want to start driving traffic, pay for an ad, traffic comes, new clients come with it, right? That's the ideal
Hmm.
scenario for Google Ads. Google Business Profile, it's really up to you how long it takes. You could be as quick as you wanted to and optimize it fully. Start soliciting reviews tomorrow and get a bunch of reviews. And Google could possibly rank your Google Business Profile fairly quickly.
Okay.
Organic search is a little different. It
Hmm.
can take time. It can be done really quick. Okay. You can put the pieces in place. And if your competition level is so low that you could easily outrank competitors just by doing the basics, things can happen fairly fast. And when I say fairly fast, I mean like 3 months maybe. But
Okay.
typically, an SEO process is typically 12 to 24 months, but it delivers a long term benefit. Just like
Mm-hmm.
you were discussing earlier, in a pandemic, you don't actually have to continue executing a plan. Your past work that had been done in 2018, 2019 is paying off in 2022 now. So
Yeah.
while you will benefit from the long term of a proper SEO campaign and make some tweaks after, that 12 to 24-month period, continue making tweaks here and there, but it's not as
Mm-hmm.
intensive as it needs to be in the first 12 months, especially.
It's really good to know because I feel like, I mean, myself included, if you're going to spend money on something and you're trying to grow your business, everybody wants to be able to do it as quickly as possible, right? So I think setting expectations that, you can get it quickly, like you said with the ads, that'll trickle in more quickly, but it's more about getting the long term stuff set up so that ages from now, it's already there, right?
And ads, I think, especially in a young salon's life cycle, it's important to do both initially. And
Hmm.
ideally, you're running ads and you're doing SEO, and then they meet, and you're
Yeah.
running less ads, and your rankings are improving. So you're organically um, building more traffic to your site, and your ads budget can go down. But at our salon, we still run ads. It's part of the search engine results page. So why wouldn't we want to be there? We have a minimal budget set for it. I think our budget might be $5 a day at this point. But why not
Yeah.
throw $150, $200 at it a month? Because it's going to pay off. We're going to get
Yeah.
traffic from that money that we spend. A lot of us, me included, we search something and we're too smart for Google. So we're like, we're not going to click on those pesky ads because
Yeah.
we're smart, but that's not truth. It's
Yeah.
just
It's still
like,
there.
yeah, it's just that we don't
Yeah.
want to click on an ad. A lot of people do. A lot of people are like, you know what? They're paying for it and click. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it happens all day, every day. And our
Yeah.
industry has a very low cost for ads. So
Interesting.
why not? I think our average cost runs around 60 cents per click. So why not throw a few clicks at our website every day for $5 versus if you were a personal injury attorney, you're looking at like $300 for one click. So
Wow.
if you ever get mad at any personal injury attorneys, just Google personal injury attorneys in your area and just start clicking on their ads.
Oh my God. That's funny. So you said budget, right? What, I guess, should somebody, it's going to be different, I'm sure, for every salon and whatever, but what should somebody kind of expect to spend?
Yeah, I want to make sure we're on the same page. First, you have
Hmm.
got to have a really good website. That is
Yeah.
super important. Don't drive any traffic to a crappy website. Don't go on
Yeah.
Wix and put together your website in 2 hours and then start running Google ads to it. You're wasting your money. You might as well just
Yeah.
go buy a handbag, right?
Yeah.
Why not? Because you're just
Yeah.
wasting that money that you're throwing away. I got into this business probably 5 years ago into the digital
Hmm.
marketing space. And
Hmm.
we wanted to create services that were salon budget friendly. Okay. So
Hmm.
our pricing has changed over those 5 years. And we're now in a place that if you can't afford our services, something you need to have a bigger financial discussion with your coach because it's ridiculously cheap. For a
Yeah.
just a website with us for a single location salon is 237 a month. That's
Okay.
$237 a month. We
Yeah.
do all the hosting, maintenance.
Hmm.
If Sally quit, we take her off the website and within 48 hours.
Yeah.
We do it all. So it's a done for you process for under $250 a month. SEO is an add-on to that. I would suggest calling around to some local agencies and seeing what they
Hmm.
charge for search engine optimization. You're going to
Yeah.
have range.
Huge
Locally here in
range.
Savannah, we have one company that charges small businesses about $2,000 a month for SEO.
Oh my God. It's not
It
small
is what it
business
is.
numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that these are companies that don't understand industry specific budgets.
Hmm.
As a salon
Yes.
owner, I know there's not much meat on the bone at the end of the day to pay
Hmm.
$2,000 a month for marketing if I'm bringing in less than $1 million in the salon. It's almost impossible. So what we did is we created our service offering to fit within a salon budget. And we think it works because the competition level is not outrageous. So we don't have to labor for 20 hours, 30, 40 hours a month on each individual product. So I think our SEO offering is like an additional 260. So for under 500 a month, our single location salons are getting a website and search engine optimization, maintenance, hosting. Is basically a done for you package for your digital presence to have a website and search engine optimization. How much should you pay? Like I say, you're going to get a range of website quotes and SEO quotes in your local area, probably ranging from $500 for a website completely built from
Mm.
your mother's, grandma's, neighbor's kid
Yeah.
to $20,000 from a big
Hmm.
agency in town. You'll
Yeah.
get that range and you won't know what to do. Picking an agency is important because they need to understand the industry and the client path of how do we get a new client into the salon, not just how do we build a pretty website. So having a website that converts, yeah, pretty matters, but I want it to
Hmm.
convert. I want it to turn
Yep.
potential clients into new clients because that's what
Yeah.
pays the bills at the end of the day. That's our budget guidelines. We feel like those fit within any salon doing over $400,000 a year should
Hmm.
be able to afford our budgeting pricing. But you can pay as much as you want to pay. Really, you're going to get a range from $100 a month SEO from that company that's emailing you every day from India, and you'll get nothing for it, to
Yep.
$2,000 a month from your local SEO company that knows nothing about your
Hmm.
industry. So you'll
Yeah.
the range is there. You'll get promises after promises of what's going to be delivered to you. I would implore most salon owners to do some due diligence into
Hmm.
who you're doing business with,
Yeah.
especially local news outlets. A
Mm.
lot of people, I don't know if it's in Canada, but in the States, a lot of local news outlets have gone to, we're going to sell SEO because people don't understand it. They know it's a
Interesting.
hot term, and it's something that we can sell to our clients because, guess what? We don't have much else to sell. So it's
Yeah.
another sales offering. They're selling impressions on their website. It's display ads, and it's
Yeah.
not SEO.
Yeah.
Look into what you're getting and
Yeah.
what kind of analytics you're going to get out of it and actual return you're going to get for that, because having a bounce rate of 100% is not good. And that's usually what happens on a lot of these display ads is somebody accidentally clicks it and then clicks off your website, and that's called a
Oops.
bounce. So knowing your numbers and really understanding what you're getting for what you're going to pay, I think is very important.
Do you think that this is something, that they could or should set up themselves? Because as an owner, you really, speaking for myself, I like to do a lot of things on my own. Sometimes it's because I can't afford to get somebody else to do it or whatever. I don't want to pay that much. Do you think that this is something that you should really farm out to a professional, or this is something that people could do on their own?
For the pricing that we have, I don't see why you wouldn't farm it out. I think a salon owner's time is much more valuable than $237 a month that it would take to
Yeah.
put this thing together and to maintain it and to do all the work behind the scenes. And it really comes down to a time value of money. Do you really want to put the time and effort into doing this and continuing to do it into perpetuity and possibly doing it wrong and then somebody having to fix it, and you're still paying the same thing and you've already invested all of this time in it? So it really just boils down to time value of money. And most owners are behind the chair 40, 50 hours a week. So most of them don't have the time or effort to
Yeah.
really want to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But can you do it? Absolutely. Anybody can do this. I say this all the time. Anyone can build a website on WordPress. Anyone
Mm.
can learn SEO and execute an
Mhm.
SEO strategy.
Mhm.
Anyone can learn how to optimize Google ads. Anybody can do it. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. Anybody can do this, or my staff. Anyone can do it. It comes down to, is your time worth more than paying us to do it? And I
Yes.
think it
Yeah.
is. I think your
Yeah.
time is much more valuable than the minimal amount of money it takes for us to do our job.
Well, and you're gonna spend the money to learn how to do it in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Before you even get into the actual practice of doing it and the
Oh yeah.
cost of putting all these things together.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
do-it-yourselfers out there, I do have some recommendations.
Mhm.
Squarespace is my recommended platform for do-it-yourselfers to build on.
Okay. Yeah.
It's SEO friendly. It has tended to be an easy DIY with a great interface, with a good mobile interface versus your Wix or your GoDaddy website builder or whatever Weebly. I prefer and push DIYers in the Squarespace direction.
Mhm.
WordPress is just for somebody who is a glutton for punishment. And if you don't already know WordPress already, Kelly, like you did back in the day,
Facts.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest platform to work with. It is the most robust platform. It's what we build in because we're able to get the best results possible for our clients. Okay. So it definitely is the best platform to build in, but it is not easy for a DIYer to do.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Squarespace, much easier platform. If you have very low competition or you're in a very rural area of whatever state or province you're in, yeah, Squarespace DIY website may work just fine. You may be able to rank at the top of Google with it, but it really depends on your competition level and what you're looking to get out of your website.
That's some great information. You've shared with me that you've been working on something really, really big for the last little while. I'd love to see if you could tell us what that is.
Yeah, so this has probably been 2 years in process. But for any salon out there that carries any L'Oreal PPD products, that includes L'Oreal Professionnel, Kerastase, Redken, Pureology, Matrix, Mazzani, Pulp Riot. I'm probably missing one or two, but any salon that carries those products and buys them from your distributor, you get points. And
Hmm.
those are called level points through the
Hmm.
L'Oreal PPD group of products. We are now, our company, Salon.Marketing, is now available to pay with points. So
Ah,
salons can redeem their points for our services, whether it be a certain dollar amount, or if you want to just go ahead and pay for 2 years of your website up front with points. Done.
awesome.
L'Oreal was gracious enough to work with us and really go back and forth and look at our portfolio and see who we had worked with in the past and give us the blessing to, hey, we're gonna put you guys on points because we believe in what you're doing, and they know that having a good digital presence can help grow your business. What does L'Oreal want to do? They want to sell more product, right?
Yeah.
That's their business, is to
Yeah.
sell more product. If you grow as a salon, what are you going to do? You're going to buy more product, more back bar,
Yeah.
more color, more
Yeah.
retail. It's just like the Roots story. I think like our
Yeah.
salon, our first order with L'Oreal or through Salon Centric, who is our distributor, was probably $500 for the month.
Hmm.
Now we're spending $5,000 in the order. So
Yeah.
they saw that story of how we use digital marketing to go from a minnow to a whale to them. You
Yeah.
know, we're
Yeah.
someone that spends more than $100,000 a year with L'Oreal.
Wow.
So they're like, hey, let's figure out what you did and let's do it for everyone
Yep.
else. Why not? So it's super awesome that salons can now use points to pay for our services, and you actually get a 10% discount by paying for points with the points redemption conversion rate. So we're offering all L'Oreal salons basically 10% off if you redeem points to for our services. So yeah, and I
That's
think the core
amazing.
services we have on there, we have a suite owner package, which
Hmm.
is we have a website package and a website and SEO package. We have a single location package, which is the same website and SEO. And then we have a
Hmm.
multi-location package, which is website and then a website and SEO. Or you can just buy a gift card for any dollar amount. And we also have a branding package that we're doing now. We have a couple of graphic design employees
Cool.
that are on staff, and they're knocking out branding kits for any new salons or salons that are looking to rebrand and shake things up in 2022. Which I know it's happening a lot, because I think the last 10 salons I've talked to are like, oh yeah, give me the details on your branding package. It seems like a pain point for a lot of people. So they're
Yeah.
like, I've got 3 different logos and I don't know my colors
Six
or what
different
my font.
fonts.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, so yeah, so
Yeah.
we're able to put together a really cohesive brand book basically for our clients.
Awesome.
So we're
That
excited
is
about
super, super
more
cool.
detail.
Yeah, that is very exciting. I think also just the fact that people can use their points, because if you're already ordering products and if you can use your points, it's money that you don't have to spend. It's coming back to you. So in a way, you're kind of getting it for free-ish, right? It's not additional
100%.
money you have to put out. So that's amazing. Very
Yeah,
cool.
at our salon, we have typically used all of our points for education. There are a
Yeah.
lot of offerings on level. You can buy back bar and you can do a lot of different things, but we have always dumped our money into education, and
Yeah.
digital marketing has never been an offer before on level. So
Yeah.
we're the first digital marketing
Yeah.
company to go onto level to be able to redeem points with. So super exciting stuff.
That's gonna be super helpful, I think, to the industry in general, totally up leveling everything. I've seen some of the websites that you've done. They're awesome. And, just our experience helping out my website as much as you did, helping out me in general when I jack stuff up on my own. So,
That's what I believe in. I believe
yeah,
in helping people when they need help
yeah,
and giving as much as I can. I didn't build this business to be rich.
yeah,
I
yeah,
created an agency. I saw a need of the salon industry and said, "Hey, why don't we help these salons get to us to level up their digital game, because most of
yes.
them are crap." Yes, I'm sure one day there'll be some financial benefit behind it, but that was never my motivation. It was
Yeah.
really to help salon owners as much as I can. I have tons of salon owners that call me or text me and ask me questions completely not related to digital marketing. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
just know that when a salon owner does join into a business relationship with me, that it's a lot more than, hey, I'm just doing your website. I'm
Yeah.
a salon owner too, and I go through a lot of the same struggles that my clients do. So I can definitely relate.
How does one find you if they wanna work with you?
Salon.Marketing. That's it.
Cool.
Salon.Marketing. There's no .com. It's just
Cool.
salon.marketing. And
Awesome.
that's the easiest way. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and all those other places. But if you just go to salon.marketing, readily there, you can look me up on Facebook, Lucas Renfroe, friend me. That's it's another outlet. I get a lot of messages on Facebook, a lot of friend requests. So um, always available.
Lucas, this has been full of amazing and useful information, and I just wanna thank you so much again for joining me today. I can't wait for people to hear this, and I think that they're gonna get a lot out of it.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.